Hey everyone, welcome to the live, and um, it is actually lovely to be here. Um, I was live last week, but I wasn't live myself. I went live with Simon. We did throwback Thursday, which is always great. But I realised that I've not actually gone live myself in quite a long time, I think. It was Sandy that said it to me when I was downstairs. He says, "Are you doing your live tonight?" And I says, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, that's good. I'm glad because I feel as though you've not done it in a while." Um, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I've not." So yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's nice to see. Well, so far I can only see Simon and Robert W. So hi, Simon. Hi, Robert. Hope you're both doing okay. But it's nice to be here with you. And yeah, don't really have much of um, you know, an itinerary. Is that the word? But we'll just have a chat and a catch up, and we'll see what happens. There's Robin from Toadstool Tarot as well. Hi, Robin. How are you? Um, I'm going to do a wee spread at some point later on as well. We can all pull cards together. Um, I found one that's quite good for the new year. So yeah, stick around until later if you want to do that with me. Make sure that you've got a deck of cards. To be honest, it can be whatever deck of cards you want to use. It doesn't need to be tarot. It can be Oracle. It could be playing card. It could be friggin' Pokemon cards. It's really up to your lovely self, whatever you want to use. As long as it's something that you feel like speaks to you and you can get messages from, that's all that we're looking for. My hands look a lot worse in that than what they actually are. That's strange. You see how there it makes my skin. You can really see like the kind of a dry skin and the redness. Like it's not that bad at all. Neither it is. The camera's really exaggerating that. um, so I'm glad it's not doing the same thing to my face. um, but yeah, how is everybody? Simon says we did unboxing day two, so that might be why. Love your jumper. Oh, thank you very much. This is an old jumper that I've had for years and years, and I actually had to rescue it because, um, yeah, Sandy nearly put it through the tumble dryer, and I was like, "You can't put that through the tumble dryer." I was like, "You barely even put that through the washing machine." Um, so yeah, I rescued it from the tumble dryer and I hung it over the. We got a heated clothes horse, which is really good. Um, So yeah, I think if it had been put through the tumble dryer, then it would have been small enough to fit like one of these wee guys, to be honest with you. Um, but anyway, thank you, Simon. Uh, it's just it is definitely the weather for jumpers. I don't know what it's like down south, but up here it has been freezing these last couple of days. This last week, really. Um, so I've really been feeling it. I was working from home today and yesterday, so really feeling the cold. I feel I'm very low down, which I hate. So I'm going to just do a couple of things. I'm going to see if my seat can get raised. No, I feel as though that's put me even lower down somehow. And I'm going to just ever so slightly shift this camera. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Right. What was I talking about there? Uh, yeah, the weather. So working from home today and yesterday, so been feeling the coldness, especially because I start work at 6:30 in the morning, so I'm up really early for work. And at that time in the morning, it's freezing cold. Um, when I'm in I work in the office on Mondays and Tuesdays, and it starts off really cold in the mornings. And then it gets absolutely roasting as the day goes on. I think something weird with the heating in my office. Like they can't seem to get a nice happy medium. It's either one extreme or the other. The light's flickering, and I don't know why, but we're just going to go with it. Um, but yeah, anyway, jumper season. So yeah, I've got my jumper on. I've got a cup of decaf tea. This is Twinings everyday decaf tea. I'm quite funny with decaf tea. I'd usually I'll drink them because I like my tea and I can't drink caffeinated drinks after like 7 o'clock. If I'm up early the next morning, it just doesn't work for me. So I need to drink them. Like I need to drink them. I drink them because I want a cup of tea. But this is a really nice decaf tea. Marks and Spencer do a really nice decaf tea as well. But they're the only two that I've found that I actually enjoy, that I like the taste of. The other ones I kind of just put up with, if that makes sense. Um, let's see. Hi, Care Bear. How you doing? It is lovely to see you. I hope you're doing okay. I love your cowboy hat, if that's even what that is. Um, Robert says it's 4 degrees Celsius here, but it's been -2 at times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very up and down. Like yesterday, no, no, not yesterday. Tuesday, I didn't have to scrape the car, but Monday morning I did. I had to. It's just as well that I left the house early because I had to spend some time scraping it. Uh, they need another name for those. Neither jumper nor sweater seem like a lovely thing, whether you're jumping around or sweating, I guess. Um, I'm in South Carolina and it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so uh, that I think that's cold, isn't it? I don't work it. The only Fahrenheit temperature that I know that 90 Fahrenheit is equivalent to about 32 degrees Celsius, and the reason I know that is because of my snake tanks. I know that their well, actually no. So Loki, my royal python, his hot side needs to be at 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which I know is equivalent to 32 degrees Celsius. Um, but yeah, May is my corn snake. Hers is slightly different. I think she's about 86 Fahrenheit, which I think is equivalent to around about 30-ish. I'm actually not 100% sure on that, but um, yeah. What is six? Anyone know what 60? I suppose I could always just Google it, couldn't I? Let's 60 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. There it's there. 15 degrees Celsius. That's, I mean, compared to what we've got right now, that's quite warm. Do you drink herbal teas? I don't, Robin. I don't drink any funny teas, to be honest with you. I purely drink like I don't even know what you would really call it. I just call it, normal tea, builder's tea, standard tea, black leaf tea, I suppose you might call it. I like English breakfast actually. That's a small exception, but to me that is just it's almost the same as normal tea. Um, Simon is obsessing over Lady Grey. How camp. um, so is that one that you take milk with, Simon, or do you even take milk with your tea? Try to remember. Care Bear, thanks. It is. It was I was at Grand Ole Opry in that photo. Got the hat there. Very nice. Yeah, so 15 degrees, so it is, it's quite mild. Kathy from Tortoiseshell Moon says, hey Chris, and all in the chat. Uh, 60 is cool, 74 is comfortable, said Robin. It's miserable and hot in summer, says Care Bear. Oat milk, right, okay. I take oat milk in my coffee and my cereal, pretty much everything except my tea. I've got to have normal milk in my tea. I just can't. I really don't enjoy oat milk and tea. It's just something about it. The oat milk that I use is like the barista style stuff, so it's like kind of a creamier, um, and doesn't have that. I don't know, when I've tried like other oat milks and coffee usually. Um, I don't know. You still get the bitterness of the coffee. It almost like brings out the bitterness in the coffee, which I really don't like. Um, So yeah, but anyway, I digress. I got this was for my birthday actually. It was Malamir that got me this. Really lovely wee 2024. Uh, it's like a diary planner type thing. But in fact, let me turn on the overhead. It's got loads of like really cool, like it's an astrological kind of a type planner thing. What am I trying to do here? Put the light on. That's it. I think I've maybe showed this before actually. But at the start of the month, here it has these important astrological transits. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not very astrological, but I thought, well, let's look and see what there is for today. So today it says Venus trine Chiron. Can you see that there? Venus trine Chiron for the 11th, and that's at that was at 15:35 today. I wonder what these times are in. Oh, it seems to be in Central Eastern Time. So that's 6 hours behind us. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's actually like not that's in like 20 minutes. So Venus trine Chiron. So I was like, right, okay, that's lovely. What the hell does that mean? So of course I looked up. Now this seems to relate more to people rather than like actual times. But it says it still might give us an indication of the kind of energy that's about us right now. So Venus trine Chiron is an easy aspect. Things flow easily. So these people are very accepting as well. They like being there for others. Artistic skills, but make it slightly edgy. They're good listeners. But the trine has a dark side too because there is potential that talent can be brushed off and left undeveloped. So very kind of a go with the flow, maybe sometimes though a wee bit too go with the flow and struggle with that staying power. So excuse me whilst I just clean all the shit off my desk. Not actual shit on my desk. Um I should highlight it's dusts, uh but yeah, let me know if that resonates with you. If that makes sense. If you're feeling that kind of that flow of energy just now. Um, Equally, let me know if it makes no sense at all and you feel the complete opposite. But yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to mention. Um, I can see Kristen Louise. Hi, Kristen. How you doing? Eh, Oh, and Rachel as well. Hi, Rachel. How you doing? 98 is body temperature, says Robin. We usually get around 60 degrees during our summers, says Simon. I love oat milk and porridge, but I usually have coffee, mate, in my coffee, says Kathy. Yeah, I think you probably know this because I've told you a million times before. But in my coffee, I usually put we get it's a brand of hot chocolate here, and it's called Options. Um, so I usually put like a teaspoonful of Options white chocolate, hot chocolate in my coffee, and I also take sweetener. So yeah, my coffee's very sweet. Um, I love buying planners, then end up abandoning them after a few months. Yeah, well, I'm going to try and not do that. I've got a couple of things in this just now. It's it's got like it's not just got like things for each day. It's got like kind of a plans for the month ahead, like monthly goals, weekly goals, breaking it down, actionable steps. Um, there was like stuff for the start of the year as well, like all of these things that you're inspired to do. Yeah, it seems pretty decent. And see, even if I just use it as like a normal diary, then I'll be happy with that because I'm not even very good at doing that. Um, Kristen says I've started drinking mushroom coffee. I have tried. So we went to a restaurant called Six by Nico. Let me know if you have it in your part of the world. Um, I'm pretty sure it's like there's a couple. It's not just here. But yeah, I went to we went to Six by Nico, and it's a place that does like it's a you go for your dinner, but it's like a taster type menu, a themed taster type, and like it was the theme when we went was I think Alice in Wonderland, and you get like kind of a 6 or 7 courses, but they're small, uh, and I'm sure it was a mushroom tea. To completely go against what I said earlier on to Robin, I'm sure it was a mushroom tea, but it was beautiful. And I don't normally, like I've just said, I don't normally like funny teas, and I don't normally really like mushroomy things either. Like, I've got to be in the mood to eat even just like mushrooms with my fry up or something. Um, but this stuff was delicious. It was really tasty. Um, but yeah, mushroom coffee. I've not tried that. How does options with coffee turn it? It turns it's lovely, Simon. See, I love a chocolate mocha, a mocha. So I do. So when I go to either Starbucks or Costa or Nero or Tinderbox or anywhere, any coffee place, I pretty much always get a white chocolate mocha. Uh, Depending where I go, I'll either get it made with coconut milk or oat milk, but I get a white chocolate mocha and it's delicious. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to make when I do my options, hot chocolate and my coffee. But it's nice, it's lovely, um, and it works out fine. We've got one of those kind of a wee frother thingamajiggers, and that kind of mixes it all in properly and stuff. Um, so yeah, I would recommend it. Hi Scott, it's lovely to see you. How you doing? And how is Cody? I want to say your dog. If I remembered his name right, I think it's Cody, but now I'm doubting myself. Um, a Tassimo Costa flat white for me, says Robert. Um, so you like a bit of coffee and you're sweetener, pretty much, Robin, yeah, more or less. That's a very fair comment. So you've not got Six by Nico, Robert. Um, but we've got one in Glasgow. I'm pretty sure there's one in Edinburgh as well, and I'm not sure. I would imagine there's probably um other ones throughout the UK maybe. Uh, this has reminded me to clean up my Keurig Starbucks pods, half and half, and stevia for me. Some whipped cream if we have it. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, they always ask me, and wherever I go, they always ask me if I want whipped cream. I try and not. I try and say no. I'll just the coffee. um, but yeah, sometimes I'm weak and I get myself some whipped cream. Oh, that's something else I was going to say. So, what do you guys think of the sound of this? Costa have started doing what is it? A hot milkshake. A hot milkshake. Now, it sounds questionable. I appreciate, but if you like milkshakes, then and if you like hot drinks, if there's either one of those things that you don't like, then it's not for you. But if you like milkshakes and you're partial to a wee hot drink, whether it's tea or coffee or a hot chocolate or something, then try a hot milkshake from Costa. Um, they are really nice. Uh, it's so I think they do so. when we got one last weekend, it was a white chocolate and raspberry flavored one, and it kind of it was weird. It was like thicker than like milk, thicker than a coffee, but not as thick as an actual cold milkshake, or like it wasn't as thick as like custard. You know, it was still of a consistency where you can drink it, but it had a thickness to it. But it kind of had a custardy taste. It this is the only way I can describe it. It was nice. Try it. What else? They also I got one through the week there on Wednesday, yesterday. And that was see, I only saw on the board salted caramel, but it was actually salted caramel and coffee flavored. So it was nice for a coffee drink, but I was expecting a like a milkshake type. So you know, it was a bit different from what I was expecting. But yeah, sorry, I'm really bad for leaving these comments on the screen when I'm chatting. Simon says might have to try that on my way. Oh, might have to try that on my way into work in the morning. Yum, white chocolate mocha is what I really want, but get the skinny vanilla latte. Well, see, this is why I get the mocha, the white chocolate mocha made with coconut milk and or oat milk because coconut milk and oat milk. I don't know about calories because I don't, you know, the diet that I do, it's not really, you're not counting the calories yourself, but they have the same kind of a value as skimmed milk, which is if you ask for like a skinny latte or a skinny cappuccino or whatever, then they make it with skimmed milk. Um, and I just think like coconut milk and oat milk are just tastier, they're nicer. Um, so yeah, that's why I get that. Robin says, at home, I add a packet of powdered hot chocolate to a spoonful of instant espresso with a dash of cinnamon. It makes a mocha with no need for more sweetener. I would still add sweetener to that, Robin, and I would leave off the cinnamon. Um, must only be in Scotland, not sure. Robert, I thought you were in Scotland. Am I wrong? Would you like whipped cream? Pulls out the devil card. Yeah, I saw that. I can't imagine hot, thick milk. Which one of the three flavors? Aye, so I've told you that. Hot milkshake could be good. Is it thicker than cocoa? I've tried hot eggnog. It's not bad. So yeah, as I've explained, it is thicker than like hot chocolate or thicker than cocoa. Sounds lovely. I will try that, says Rachel. Can't imagine the texture of a hot milkshake. Yeah, that's. Try it as a treat. Like, yeah, it's quite filling. That's one thing I'll say. It's very filling. So like, don't get it if you've only got room for like a wee coffee or something. Like, a hot milkshake is like a well, it's a milkshake, isn't it? So milkshakes are quite filling. Um, there's a white chocolate and strawberry. Oh right, yeah, yeah. That's that. Maybe just no heard, but that's the first one that I tried, and that's the one that I'm saying has a kind of a custardy taste to it. Um, no, you're not in Scotland. I'm sure you said this before, and I will probably fucking say it again because I can't be told, unfortunately. It takes a lot to drum. Once I've got an idea in my head, is anyone else like this? Like once I've got this idea in my head, I find it quite difficult to displace that with something else, um, which I suppose is really quite ignorant in some contexts. Um, But yeah, so apologies, Robert. I don't know where I've got that idea from. I will try and remember that you're not in Scotland. Where are you? Um, maybe that will help if I know where you actually are. Oh, by the way, so how many of us are here? There's about 17 people here. Um, how many of you follow me on Instagram? The reason I ask this is because, and I noticed this, I think it was last week. Um, StreamYard have just given us the capability of going live on Instagram via StreamYard. And that, you could never do that before, but they've just opened that up as an option. Now, I have an Instagram account that's linked to my YouTube, Elemental Cartomancy. I, I've only really used it to kind of announce announce my lives, promote my lives, and maybe promote lives that I'm on for other people. Very occasionally, I'll post something that's not related to something that I'm doing on YouTube. Um, but yeah, I was considering. So I was trying to do it today, where I stream both on YouTube and on Instagram, because I thought, well, there's no harm in it. Like, I would just, because you would just be streaming to two different places. Um, but it turns out that it's called multi-streaming, and it turns out that you can't multi-stream unless you pay for StreamYard. Um, and it's like I mean, it's not overly expensive. It's about £100. I worked it out. It's $15 a month, but if you pay for the year, you save $48. So I think that works out to be $132, which works out at just over £100. So it's like, it's not a massive amount where I'm going to like go without eating or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's enough of an amount where I'm like have to think about whether I want to spend that. Um, so I was going to ask, how many of you follow me on Insta, and how many of you would actually, you know, well, I suppose there's not really any point in me asking here because you're all just going to watch me on YouTube, aren't you? Because that's what you're doing. But just, I suppose, just a show of opinions then. Do you think it would be worthwhile um, streaming on Instagram as well? I could ask the question on Instagram. That's probably the best thing to do. And what I could also actually do is just try going live on Instagram, but like only Instagram. Like there's some sort of flickering happening here. Yeah, just try going live only on Instagram and see how that goes and see if there's, many people in attendance. If not, then I suppose I've got my answer. There's not really any point in spending the money to be able to go live in two places. I suppose there's other benefits to being a paying StreamYard, like having an actual, I don't think it's a premium account. I think it's like a basic account. Um, but yeah, anyway, I'm just curious as to what people's thoughts were. Uh, Robin says it's surprisingly good to add a scoop of vanilla ice cream to a cup of coffee. That hot and cold mix and sweet vanilla flavour is really yummy. I think they call it Cafe Viennese. Ah, okay. Okay, that sounds nice. Robert is in Bedfordshire. Okay, right. We're going to try and remember that. It's got bed in it. Bedfordshire. Now that I've said that, as stupid as that sounds, now that I've said that, I'm hoping that it will stick in my memory. Apologies once again. Simon's hands up. He follows me on Insta. Care Bear says, I'm not on Insta much, but I'll follow you there. Oh, thank you. Um, I usually post earlier on in the day on Instagram to say that I'm going. That's usually a story that I'll post to say that I'm going live later on YouTube. That's really the only thing that I tend to use it for, if I'm honest. And I follow people on Instagram. I enjoy like kind of watching some people's stories and stuff. Heather's here. Says, "Hey Chris, Happy New Year! Happy New Year to you as well. I hope that you had a lovely time over the festive period." Um, Simon says, "No way, family would see me." uh, Hello everyone in the chat. See now here, multi-stream, multi, as in multi. Um, so you're streaming them to more than one place from the one source. Simon, you pay £20 a month. Hmm, that wasn't one of the options that I saw. It was either $15 or $39. Neither one of them would equate to £20 a month. Unless the $15 option that I'm seeing would come, I would need to pay something on top of that as well because there would probably be some sort of conversion charge or something. Although I still wouldn't think that would come up to £20 from $15. I don't know. Robert does not use Insta, only TikTok. Fair enough. I don't really do social media outside YouTube and a little on Facebook, says Heather. Janine, my son isn't speaking to me at the moment, which is very upsetting. I didn't even see my grandson at Christmas. I feel there is manipulation by others influencing this. Oh, right, okay, so this is a question for. So Janine, I'm not pulling cards right now. I'm actually. So Janine, I'm pretty sure that um, you do cards yourself. I'm going to be doing a spread a wee bit later on, where we all do it together, and we can all kind of talk about the cards that we're pulling and stuff. It was just a kind of a spread for the new year. So I don't know whether you maybe want to grab a wee deck of cards and pull cards with us, and maybe you'll get some enlightenment about the situation through that. If not, then well, give me a shout on either Facebook or Instagram chat or something, um, and we'll work something out. We'll pull some cards for you because um, yeah, that's a shame. I'm really really sorry to hear that. Um, but yeah, I'm sorry. Uh, Normally I'm quite blasé about saying, "Oh, I'm not doing readings right now," but I know that you tune in all the time and tend to watch. Um, so yeah, give me a shout, and let me know what works for you. Simon says, I stream into the Facebook group as well as YouTube. Only one person shows up. I guess people are used to watching me on YouTube, right? Okay. Robin, I don't like multi-streaming. It divides the chat participants and probably affects the YouTube logarithm. The YouTube algorithm, do you mean? The YouTube logarithm. Sorry, I'm not taking the piss. It just makes me laugh because I did maths at uni and logs are actually something that I quite enjoy. The YouTube logarithm. Uh, log YouTube equals e to the power x. um, Social media is a rabbit hole for me, says Care Bear. Robin says, in multi-streaming, I go to where the most chatters are present, but it feels unfairly divide following. Right, okay. I suppose that's one way to look at it. That is, yeah, I guess if you are like, if it's, for example, if it's streaming to two different channels, then yeah. Um, if it's streaming to two different channels, then if there's people that follow both channels, then yeah, there is going to be a division there. Um, But then you've also got the benefit where if there's people on, so for example, I'll use me and Simon as an example because we multi-stream every month, and we did it last week. So there may be people out there's lots of people on Simon's channel that maybe don't necessarily that don't follow me, that maybe don't see me. Um, there might be very few people that follow my channel that don't follow Simon's. So from that point of view, it's nice that we can kind of bring. that they can see us both. Um, then again, I get what you're saying. It doesn't really bring the two chats together. The two chats can't see each other. It'd be good if they could maybe do something about that. So as that the chat was all like amalgamated. I know that we see the chat all together on StreamYard. Um, but yeah, you guys don't necessarily see it that way on YouTube. Hmm. Maybe that's something for, I don't know if that would be for YouTube or if that would be for StreamYard to look at, but yeah. Oh, look, it's Deanne. Hey, Deanne, how are you? How are you getting on with your your month end stuff? And I meant to message you back, but I've still got stuff sitting in November, so I wouldn't worry. Uh, might be before taxes, Robert. Yeah, that's true. My cat is stalking me for treats right now. um, yeah, my what have the girls been up to? I've got two dogs. So if you hear me talking about the girls, that's who I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, Sola stole one of Luna's treats. So they're both quite different with their treats. Sola will eat her treat right away. Like she'll take it off you quick as lightning and she'll eat it. It's as though she's scared someone's going to steal it. Luna, on the other hand, depending on what it is, very rarely will she actually just take a treat and then eat it. Quite often she'll take it, she'll go to somewhere, like maybe go lie on the couch, she'll put the treat down, and just kind of I don't know, like let's sit back and stare at it. She'll look and see what Sola's doing. Sometimes she'll even like kind of a bark at it and jump about and like play with it. It's really weird. Like Bonios, um, there's I don't know if you have Bonios over in the US, but there's a dog treat. It's like a big biscuit bone thing that they get. Um, she she is weird with Bonios. She's got some weird like love-hate relationship with Bonios. She barks at them and picks it up and throws it, and like she knows it's a thing to eat because she does eventually eat them. But I don't know, it's a wee weird though. But anyway, yeah. So that's what they're like generally. So I gave them both a treat. I can't remember if it was earlier today or yesterday, but I gave them both a treat. And they did their usual. Sola ate it right away, and Luna did. She put it down and was jumping about at it. And while she was doing that, you can see where this is going. Sola stole hers. So yeah, Sola got a wee round for that, and Luna got given another treat. I think I gave Luna two treats because I felt bad because Sola did too. Um, but yeah, see the tangents that you send me on. I don't think I pay anything either for either StreamYard or YouTube. I do wish they'd let us add pics to the chat scroll. Yeah, same, Robin. The only reason I can think that they don't is for like safeguarding reasons. For like like people could post dodgy pics, but then it's the same in Facebook and stuff, I guess, isn't it? And all social media. Um, Heather says, I don't like TikTok, especially after watching some videos on YouTube that sheds light on its origins. All right, okay. I've not heard that. TikTok is something that so I don't really sit and scroll through TikTok. I don't make a point in going on it, but my husband loves it and he'll often send me videos and like some evenings we'll be sitting like lying in bed and he'll say, right, TikToks. And he'll make me go through all my TikToks that he sent me. Like so he usually sends me funny ones. Um and to be fair, quite often they have me like killing myself laughing. Uh, Janine says, "Oh, sorry, I joined late and didn't know." No, no, listen, don't apologise. It's absolutely fine. You know that if I was doing readings just now in a heartbeat, I would, but just at the moment, uh, Just check my bank account and it's £19.96. Right, okay. And is that, I take it that's the basic package, Simon? And right, Scott's explained it. So the basic plan is $25 a month. If you pay for the year up front, it works out at 20. No, that doesn't explain it. Right, hang on. StreamYard pricing. There we go. I had this up just there because it took me to it when yeah. So let me see. Can I share my middle screen? Actually, is it going to let me? Right, we need bear with me. I'm just trying to share the right monitor. Yeah, there we go. Um, so this is the information that I'm getting. So that's what I've got, and that's what like what probably most of us have got. Um, the starter package is $15 a month, um, and the professional one is $39 a month. Or would that work? Would that be so? Hang on, that's four. So 90. So that would be 19 if you're saving $48 annually, if billed annually. Oh, here. I don't know. I don't know. It's making my brain hurt trying to work it out. But yeah, basic plan is 25. No, so that's not equivalent to what I'm seeing there, is it? Eh, Robert says at least your cat wants to stay in with you. Madam Maru. Hi guys, I was just reading back in the chat. I think a hot milkshake is just ice cream base when you've finished cooking it before freezing occurs. I think a hot milkshake is just the ice cream base when you finish cooking it before freezing occurs. Um, we were talking about it because it's a drink that Costa Coffee have started offering. Maybe since they share the same stream, they should share the same chat. That would be good. Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. Welcome to January 11th, where upon entering this chat, I tried to plug the metal bit of my earbuds into my ear. Oh, careful. You're not supposed to. My doctor told me that you're not supposed to put anything smaller than your elbow into your ear. And that was basically his way of giving me a row because I used to use, kind of still do, like cotton buds to clean my ears. Um, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be cutting about with horrible, like waxy ears. Like my ears aren't overly waxy. I don't know why I'm now talking about this. It's disgusting. But um, so like, what am I meant to do? You know? But yeah, anyway, that's what they say. Nothing smaller than your elbow, i.e., you shouldn't put anything in your ear. So yeah, I hope your ear's okay. Uh, I used to take a soup mug, add a pack of hot cocoa mix, regular coffee, French vanilla, and hazelnut creamers to finish it, and finish it off with a good amount of milk. That was when I had to stay awake. Yeah, that'll keep you awake. That's rocket fuel right there. Um, see, there we go, Robin. We're on the same wavelength. I'm just like 10 minutes behind everybody, clearly. Um, Thankfully, I realised it pretty quickly. Oh, that's good. When doggies play with their food, I'm 10 minutes behind, aren't I? I need to catch up. My cat plays with her treats before eating, like she's catching a mouse or something. Your doggies think cute. Oh, they are. They're very cute. They're really sweet. Occasionally they might be wee arseholes, but for the most part they are very cute and they are very loving and cute and sweet. Simon loves a good tangent. Yeah, me too. Clearly. I'm gonna have to try and remember that. God, what was it I was talking about? Nah, I can't remember. Mine inhale their treats. Yeah, Sola does, but Luna doesn't. There's a lot of dram on TikTok, but I scroll past all that, says Robert. Or drama. I don't like TikTok because they're clipped on a loop, and I find I'll watch it through several times before I realise that I'm watching the same thing over and over. Um, I used to feel that way. There's some older broadcasts on there too. Um, yeah, I am. What's I going to say there? Yeah, I think that there's a wide range of people on TikTok now. Um, Me too, Care Bear. I was just about to say I'm too old to add any additional platforms. Insta is my cut-off. If you go to upgrade, Chris, it will give you the UK option. Ah, okay. Simon says you have to clean your ears. Just don't go in too deep. Hello. Yeah, I swear to God, I must be extra connected tonight, so maybe I should be reading cards for people. Maybe that's a sign. Um, I swear I'm not seeing these messages before I say these things, by the way. We're all the same woman. What can I say? Uh, Heather's having to pop off. Bye, Heather. Enjoy the rest of your day. Janine, I love cotton buds in my ears. It's a cute, tickly, scratchy feeling. Yeah, see, apparently it's bad for you. It just pushes the wax in. And the reason that I had an issue with my ear, and I had to go to the doctor, and they ended up having to do the ear irrigation thing, where they clean it all out. Um, but yeah, that was the issue. It was because I was using cotton buds. Oh, okay. So Madame Maru is Marita. Oh, right. Okay, I didn't realise that. Right, I've missed that. Sorry. And I can't see where we've been informed of that. So, oh, that's good. It's nice to see you, Marita. I hope you're doing okay. Um, Remember that I'm Marita, Chris. Um, I agree with Simon. Oh wait, no. So Simon says you have to clean your ears, just don't go in too deep. Um, Janine says ears don't need cleaning, but I'm a faffer and one of those annoying people that cracks my knuckles. Right? Okay, okay. Um, Before I forget, by the way, I so you know that I've kind of been on this a bit of a painting artistic. I was going to say journey there. Have I really become that person that used the word journey? Um, yeah, I've been kind of exploring my more artistic side, and I've been getting into painting with acrylics and stuff. Um, in fact, did I show you? So I remember I told you for my birthday we went to I can't even remember what it's called now. Splatter art. It's like an art studio thing where you get to do all sorts of wacky art by like flinging paint at the canvas and using like all different things to get the paint on the canvas. I don't know if I ever actually showed you what I did. I've actually got it here, so I can show you. So this was what I did. Very abstract. Um, Oh, you can see it quite well actually. I thought it wasn't going to fit in. It is very abstract, but yeah, this is what I did. This so funnily enough, this kind of a white starry effect on the middle section, on the blue section, that was what I was going for, right? That was what I wanted, but that wasn't me that did that. So I painted my three primary colours first, and then Sandy, who was at the station beside me, he got this. It was like a splatter gun. It looks like a bicycle pump, but you use it till you soak up the paint with it, and then you splatter the paint onto your canvas. Um, he did that onto his, and it went and splatter covered me and my canvas in these white splatter marks. So yeah, I didn't appreciate me being covered in paint, and I didn't appreciate the red and yellow parts of my canvas being covered in white splatter marks. But I did like the effect on the blue bit, so I kept it. So it's a bit of a joint effort between me and Sandy. Um, but yeah, I like redid the yellow and the red, and I did like the kind of a yeah, so like I did like a kind of a honey drizzle type effect on the red. Well, that looked quite cool. So that's just like a tub of paint, kind of a looks like a like a mustard tub or something, and you just kind of let it drizzle down. And then this, I think I was just using like the kind of a splatter, I don't know, like splatter ones or something, and you just kind of splatter the paint at it. It looks quite. It's not quite how what I was going for, but I was quite conscious of not getting onto the blue side, which is why it's all kind of concentrated over this side. But I still quite like how it's ended up. So yeah, that was splatter art. But anyway, that's not why I started talking about that. The reason I started talking about that is because up until this point, I had purely been working, or up until before Christmas, I had purely worked with acrylic paint. And obviously there's different types of paint. There's gouache, there's watercolor, there's oil, probably more that I don't know about. Um, and I was quite interested in, or I've become a bit more interested about trying watercolor. Watercolor is, we probably all know Anna Turian. Um, she is the creator of the Tarot Arthurian, which is one of my more recent decks. So this artwork, um, if you check out Simon's, I think it's your latest video, Simon. Simon's got an advanced copy of Tarot of Echoes, which is Anna Turian's new tarot deck, which is fucking stunning, by the way. He's done a walkthrough of it. Check that out. That's watercolor, right? Anna's mainly works with watercolor, so that's what I'm talking about. And I've been kind of getting more and more interested in trying it out. And so it's my mum's mother-in-law, so my mum's husband's mum. I didn't know this, but she previously like dabbled in watercolor. So when she found out that I was like just painting generally, she gave me some supplies, and it was watercolor like brushes that you use with watercolor. So like kind of a sable brushes, and like you use different paint brushes for different types of paint. Um, and for my Christmas, I got watercolor paper. She gave me watercolor paints as well. Wouldn't get very far without paints with her. For Christmas, I got paper because it's like for acrylic, you're using these canvases and stuff. For watercolor, it's more like specialized paper that you use. Uh, so I thought, right, I'm going to actually try this then. Um, so yeah, I went to the art store. I had got vouchers for Cass Art, which is like a nice art store that's in town. And I went and got myself some supplies like a wee water mister spritzer thing and masking tape and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, point is, I wanted to show you. I've only done one so far, but this is my first watercolor painting. Now I should stress that this is. Let me get rid of my face. This is from an online tutorial. This doesn't come from my imagination. Um, I found a tutorial on YouTube for an easy watercolor painting. It kind of I just was mostly inspired by that, but I was quite happy with how it turned out. A nice wee winter scene, uh, and yeah, I showed it. I showed it to in my family group chat that's got Louise, the person who gave me the paints, and the critique she gave me was really nice. It was she said I've achieved a lovely ethereal vibe with this painting. I think she said. Um, so yeah, that made me chuckle. But anyway, yeah, a wee snowy scene for my first watercolor painting. So yeah, I thought I would share that just because I know I've shared some of my painting stuff before. I'm still at a point where I prefer acrylics. They work much more. I don't know. It just feels more intuitive the way that acrylic painting works to me. But I'm intrigued and I want to do more. I want to try more stuff with watercolor. Um, so yeah, watch this space. Maybe I'll share more stuff with you. Uh, I like to put hydrogen peroxide on a Q-tip and then use it for your ears. Probably totally the wrong thing to do, but I do it because I like it and I've been doing it for years. Oh my goodness. Um, oh, the right, okay. So that was the splatter art thing. Yeah, oops on the canvas. It looks intentional. Um, yeah, yeah. Anna Turian did create the Tarot of the Abyss. Yeah, I've got it here. That obviously that's a black and white deck. This is pen and ink, so that's actually not watercolor. So this is the deck that Care Bear is talking about, everyone, which is an absolutely beautiful, stunning deck. I know that Anna tends to kind of I think she incorporates like pen and ink into her watercolor art. Um, but yeah, this is a stunning deck. Uh, I would send that as a Christmas card to Simon. Oh, thank you. I actually did think because this size is A4, so I could and it's card. It's 300 GSM actually. I know that because it's on the thingy. It's 300 GSM card, so it's actually like a good solid Christmas card. Um, you know what am I trying to say? Like card stock. I really shouldn't have to search far to find that word, should I? Watercolor wanders off sometimes. Yeah, it does. So I noticed this when I was doing so I did the kind of a background for the top bit first, and I felt as though I was like chasing the paint around. It was such a weird experience, but still, I'm glad I did it. I enjoyed it. Something else that's fun, Chris, are watercolor pencils, so you can be more precise with the lines, then bleed them with brush and water. That's how I did the open face. Oh, I didn't know that, Robin. Right, that's really cool to know. Um, like I didn't know that you used that to create open face. I know about watercolor pencils. I think you can actually get like watercolor, kind of like felt tip pens as well now. Um, so yeah, I think that would all be really cool to try as well. This deck really speaks to me. The Six of Cups card is my favourite interpretation ever. Which deck was that? Sorry, Care Bear. Was that the Abyss or um, Tarot? Oh, won't be Echoes. Well, maybe it will. Um, I think you're talking about Tarot of the Abyss, aren't you? Uh, Six of Cups. Let me have a look. I'll have a look in the book. Oh, for goodness sake. Wands, cups, of cups, 3, 5, 6. So memories form a large part of who we are. The people we've met and interacted with in the past, our childhood, all of these and more strung together form the picture of who we are as individuals. The Six of Cups is the card of review, reviewing things from our past relationships, childhood, memories, or a love from the past, but now through a more objective lens. Yeah, that is actually quite a cool interpretation. I think now that I read the description, I remember it's a guy, like kind of almost as though he's thinking, but we can see into his thoughts, isn't it? This one, yeah, it is. Is this the one you mean? Yeah, yeah, abyss. You've said, yeah, it is a really beautiful image. He's quite a handsome guy as well, which um, which is always good. We all like a handsome man. Well, I say that. Right. Was there anything else I wanted to actually talk about? Just find my page. No. The only thing left was the spread. So, as I say, this is a New Year spread. Um, oh, I've just seen some. So, Marita says, looking forward to your future creation, Robin. Oh, okay. You said next project, I'll probably use more colours. That'll be nice. Um, yeah, so there's actually 7 cards in this spread. That actually feels like a lot now. Do I really feel as though I need the 7th card though? Do you know what? We'll go. We'll take this step by step and see if we feel like we need to do all 7. Um, I should tell you who this is by because I've just found this online. Um, this is from My Wandering Fool Tarot, New Year's Tarot spread. Www.mywanderingfool.com. I don't know if I've actually decided what deck I'm going to use. Hmm. Do you know, I've just got this, right? And do you know why I got this? Because I found out that one of my friends knows Fyodor Pavlov. Um, this is a friend who an in-person friend, a friend that lives in Scotland. I know him because my husband plays Lorcana with him. Uh, And yeah, we were over at his flat, and they were playing Lorcana, and I was talking about, oh yeah, no, I mentioned that I like tarot, and he says, oh, one of my friends has created a tarot deck. I really want to get it, and I was like, really? He says, yeah. He says he's brilliant. He's trans. He's designed one of his tattoos. I was like, that's amazing. Like, what? Who is your friend? And he was like, Fyodor Pavlov, and I was like I know that deck. Like that deck is like, there's lots of people that've got that deck. Um, so yeah, I decided to get it. And it's really nice, beautiful deck. Don't know why I've never decided to get it before. I just don't think it's been properly on my radar, to be honest. Um, so yeah, what are the chances of that? that I would know someone who is good friends with Fyodor Pavlov, because Fyodor Pavlov is uh, lives in the US. Anyway, so I'll use this for the spread. It is a Smithway style deck, so it should be pretty easy to tell what cards it is that I'm pulling, but obviously we'll chat through everything. Um, Glad you are bringing up a New Year's spread. I have been trying out a few. Yeah, I think lots of us do a full, like a 12 card kind of astrological spread, or like a one card for each of the month kind of a spread at this time of year. Some of us do it at our birthday, some of us do both. But I wanted to do something a bit different just because I don't want to do the same thing that everyone else does, but also well, three reasons. I don't want to just do it what everyone else is doing because there's no point like in repeating that. Secondly, 12 cards is quite a lot to do a spread for this live. And thirdly, like, how many of us actually remember the full spread when it comes to that at the end of the year? I suppose, like, many of it, I know people talk about like they journal with it and stuff, so probably actually a lot of us will. But I know I'm not very good at that, except when someone else does it for me. Deanne. Me and Deanne pull each other's year ahead readings. I think we normally do it at each other's birthdays, don't we? Uh, so yeah, when someone else does it for me, that kind of I don't know. There's just something different, and it kind of keeps it fresh in my memory, I guess, and I do refer back to it. But I feel like just for me, like a year ahead, looking at stuff a year ahead is a long time, you know. So I wanted to find something different, and I did. So that's what we're going to do. So grab a deck of cards. I said at the start, it doesn't need to be anything specific. I'm using a tarot deck. I'm using the Fyodor Pavlov tarot, but you can use whatever you want. Tarot cards, oracle cards, playing cards, Lenormand, even if you wanted, if you're comfortable reading Lenormand in this context. Um, Pokemon cards, Lorcana cards, you name it. As long as you can get something from it, then you can use it. Um, Make yourself a cuppa. Because if you're anything like me, 9 times out of 10, when you first lay that card down, your head is going to say, "What the f does this mean?" And sometimes it's nice to just take a wee minute, have a sip of tea, and let it sink in. Um, so yeah, make yourself a cuppa or a drink or something, and let's do this spread together. I think I'll keep it to the 6 cards, but I'll show you the spread now. Well, I've told you where to find it. I'll tell you what the 7th one is for anyone that wants to pull it. Okay, I'm going to just do my wee shuffle here. Okay, so my cards are shuffled, and once my cards are shuffled, I don't reshuffle them during each and between each pull or anything. But I know some people like to do that. You do you. You do it whatever way you want. Sometimes I'm partial to spreading them out and selecting at random, but I'm not going to do that today. Okay, the first card. I don't. The pattern isn't important. You lay them out whatever way you want. Um, the pattern that I've got in front of me, I'll see if I can show you here, is like that. So one in the middle, and then two, three, four on top, five, six, seven in the bottom. But because I'm only pulling six, I'll probably just do one, two, three, four, five, six. So the first card is the main theme of this new year. So for you, the main theme of 2024, I should turn on the table camera. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Um, so I've got the Nine of Wands. I'm going to turn on the light on my phone here so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Fire, and so what strikes me about this, so usually we're used to the Nine of Wands as having that kind of a fence built. Usually all nine of the wands are kind of a built up and they form a kind of fence, a kind of a defense, yeah. And this is usually a quite a defensive card. We see someone who's injured, war torn, someone who's been through a lot, and because of what they've been through, they've built up defenses. They've become quite defensive. Um, we still get that here. We see defense here, but look at these. So this is like they're setting up not just a defense, but an offense as well. So you know that expression, the best defense is a good offense. That's what this makes me think of. Um, so it's not just thinking about. I suppose it relates to any kind of a situation. Don't just think about it one way. Think about it from all angles. Um, I'm hoping as the reading goes on, I'll maybe get a bit more context as to what this might relate to. I'm hoping that I'm not just going to feel defensive all year because that wouldn't be very good. Um, Something else that I often feel with this card is it's like y- it's the kind of you're almost there. You're almost there. Like I know you're feeling a bit burnt out. I know you're feeling as though is this ever never going to end, but you're almost there. Like hang on a bit longer, you know. So again, if this is the theme for me for the year, then maybe 2025 is going to be my year. um, what So those of you that are pulling along with me, tell me in the chat if you want to share that as share with me what cards you guys have got, and we can have a chat about that. Greg has popped in, says evening all, late for the sling sip and spread. Wondered what I was letting myself in for, but more wholesome than it first seemed. Um, I think I've just called it sling and sip. I think you've added the spread bit. uh, I get the feeling he's a bit international. Oh, that was before I pulled the card. I did a spread with the Tea Leaf Fortune deck. I pulled the dog card, Good Times with Friends. Then the next day, my girlfriend's called and we are going on a mini trip this weekend. Oh, that'll be nice, Care Bear. Like a wee mini trip. Where is it to a particular place? Um, he's really wounded with the arm sling. Yeah, yeah, he is, isn't he? I'm using the Universal Celtic since I'm reading with you, says Marita. Uh, I got the Three of Wands. Right, okay. How do you interpret the Three of Wands in that context? So I can't think how the Universal Celtic looks. I think it's quite a Smith-Waite inspired deck. So I want to say that it will still have that image of the person kind of a looking out. So there's maybe a little bit of a feeling of waiting for something to happen. Um, the three of I've got a weird relationship with the Three of Wands. So quite often for me, the Three of Wands is my card that's the just do it card. Um, as cheesy as that sounds. It's the card that's telling me to get up off of my arse and just do the thing. Stop hesitating. Stop thinking about it. Stop doing plans upon plans upon mind maps upon mind maps. Just do it. Just do it. It'll work out fine. You'll get on really well. Just do it. Um, so can you list the positions? I sure can. So this is card number one, and that is the main theme of this new year. The main theme of 2024. Weakened by not having one arm to use, feeling like you're more vulnerable and disadvantaged, but still standing. Deanne got the Two of Cups, so that's a lovely card. So that's building up some kind of relationship, isn't it? Um, the Two of Cups is the kind of romance, and it's the if you're talking about the analogy of an actual relationship, for me, it's the kind of like early stages. It's the, going on dates and having those big long conversations. It's finding out what you like about the person, what you don't like about the person. It's, laughing together, having, arguments as well as anything else, because we learn about each other through how we disagree and the stuff we disagree on. Um, so yeah, like building a solid foundation to some sort of relationship. Uh, Robin. Oh, this is your sorry, Care Bear. You've your mini trip, your mini weekend away or something. You're going to Charleston on the coast. That'll be lovely. Robin's got the Page of Wands, beginning something. Page of Wands makes me think that you're actually beginning a lot of things. Um, you're probably quite liable this year to having quite a lot of projects on the go. And I think the Page of Wands really good for like having these sparks of inspiration and having these new ideas and starting getting these projects started. Um, the what I suppose what you're going to need, the energy that you're going to kind of need throughout the year is some of that more that staying power, that commitment to the projects to be able to get them finished. Um, so there's maybe just something to be conscious of. Whilst the page is brilliant for sparking new ideas, the page doesn't always necessarily have the staying power to actually finish those things, to get them done. Deanne's using the winter weight from 2022. It's a lovely forest with a white dot in the distance. All right, okay. Okay, so that's different from really what I was thinking. Let's see. Robin, did you tell us what deck you were using? No, I don't think you did. So, Robin, what deck are you using? Janine, have you told us what you're using? Um, the Seven of Discs. Okay. So, I guess then for you, that I mean, the way that I feel about that is it's waiting for the right time for something. This is going to be quite it's a year where you need to time things right. And you might be tempted. So I like to use the cooking or the baking analogy for the Seven of Discs. It's like there's temptation to open the oven early, um, to check that your cake is baking, or because you're just impatient and you want your cake already, but it takes the time that it takes. And to maybe going back to what you asked about earlier on, maybe the relationship, maybe the thing that heals the relationship is time, or maybe that's one of the things that it needs is a wee bit of time for things to cool down. Um, Obviously, when it comes to that kind of a thing, you also need work from both sides are going to need to put in the work. Um, to heal what needs to be healed, but time as well. Sometimes that's what's needed. It's kind of like an injury, like a cut or a bruise. You can put Savlon on it, you can put bruise cream on it, you can treat it, you can care for it, but in order to actually heal, the thing actually it's just going to take time. Um, I do think me and Ryan, so this is Deanne, I do think me and Ryan will have some more time to reconnect this year now that we are out of baby stage. That'll be nice. That'll be lovely. Um, Care Bear says, I got the Two of Cups too from the Everyday Witch Tarot. Okay, so building a relationship as well. Uh, Marita says, I'm in a long distance relationship, so the Three of Wands is very appropriate. Right, okay, I get you. So you feel as though you're looking at things from a distance. Care Bear, I'm so with you on hydrogen peroxide and the ears being too old for TikTok and drawing Two of Cups. Oh, so all three of those things, right? I've got you. Uh, I'm using the manuscript of initiation. Oh gosh, I've not seen that before. Um, the lovely, lovely Om Tarot. Not one I've heard of. There are two cats at the couple's feet on my card too. One is handing the other one a fish under the table. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, so you think so. So that's with regards to things taking time. And the couple is drinking wine on the beach at sunset. I like my theme. Good. Right. So that's card one. And that was the kind of a theme of 2024. Card two. So card two is where we look at departing energies from last year. So things from last year that are maybe going to kind of they're going to depart, they're going to wane away. Um, they're going to retreat into 2023, and these are things that we're maybe not so much going to take into 2024 with us. I've got the Three of Wands. Okay. It's interesting because they are like pictorially, they are quite similar cards, aren't they? I suppose the only thing I would say is this one kind of makes me think of like, so the ships are like you're putting your energy out there into the world, and then you're just kind of left waiting to see what's going to happen. You're wondering, so you're kind of do the thing. You put your energy out there, and then it's just like, right, okay, well, I guess I'll just wait for them to come back and see what's happened. There's this kind of a feeling of waiting, of yearning almost. Almost like taking a back seat, being a spectator in your own endeavors. Whereas this, the total opposite. This feels as though like, right, I'm getting involved. I'm going to take every possible step that I possibly can to defend my castle or to do the thing. Um, so maybe what this is like like the energy that's been left in 2023 is this more passive energy that we get in the Three of Wands, whereas this more active, really getting my hands dirty, is going to be the theme of 2024. Um, so sorry, I should be putting these in the chat. Number two, departing energies from last year. From last year. Four of Wands, says Deanne. this makes sense for us as 2023 was the year of my little family being reunited, even though it happened at the end of 2022. 2023 felt very Four of Wands. Yeah, so it's that kind of a year of almost like finding your feet with it all again, finding how you work together again. And as well, like even all that aside, like your kids are really young and they're growing up, and it's almost like their wee personalities are developing. So your family dynamic will be quite, don't want to use the word volatile because that sounds quite negative. I don't mean that. I mean like ever changing, like it's developing. So yeah, that will be kind of a very Four of Wandsy where you're finding that stability. Whereas if that's what's been left behind, then maybe now you've kind of found that. Um, Or maybe the four is saying, right, you're leaving that stability behind, and now that Max is at school, he's developing his wee personality, but he's going to start like I don't know, being more Five of Wandsy. You never know. Um, Vela is volatile. Oh, Robin's second card is the Empress. That was my card of the day that I pulled from the Shining Tribe Tarot. Was the Empress. Um, That's interesting, Robin, because the Empress I think of as a creative card. It's about, for me, creativity. But from what it sounds, 2024 is a very creative year for you, or at least that's the direction that it's going in. Sounds like you're quite inspired. You've got projects that you'd like to do. So I suppose again, maybe this just rehashes the idea, like, you need to be on this. There's maybe going to be you're maybe going to be susceptible to that scatterbrain page energy where you're kind of just you start something and then you put it to the side, and before you know it you have all these unfinished projects. And I suppose that like the Empress energy is maybe something that could help you see that through. um so I don't know, or maybe there's a completely different way of interpreting that. I'd be interested to know what you think. um So Marita got the Page of Wands. So your energy for the year is the three, and you're leaving behind the page. So am I right in thinking this? When did you start your relationship? Because you if it was a new relationship that started last year, then maybe that's why the page is the departing energy, because it's the novelty of it, the newness of it is no more, and now it's about kind of a building on what began. The Hierophant was what is leaving for me. A lady is leading a meditation class. Interesting, with Two of Cups being the theme. Okay, so the Hierophant is what's leaving. So quite often for me, the Hierophant is it's like a kind of a school card. It's learning from the people that came before. It's learning the knowledge that's already been discovered. Um, I often put it beside, like juxtapose it to the Hermit. Okay, so for me, the Hierophant is, if you get take put it in an advice context, right? So if you get the Hierophant as an advice card, for me that's saying go study up on it, go to the library and pull books on it, look it up on the internet, see what people have done before, see what you can learn from that, because there's a lot of knowledge to be taken from that. Whereas the Hermit is kind of almost the opposite. It's saying you've learned everything that you can learn from everyone else. Now it's all got to come from within. the answers that you're seeking are going to come from within. They're not going to come from a book. They're not going to come from another person telling you this is the answer. You need to find the answer within you. So those are those two kind of almost opposite energies that I see. So taking it back to what you've said, you've got the Hierophant as what's leaving. So maybe that's leaving behind the need to rely on outside parties. Maybe it's leaving behind the need to, almost live up to an outside standard. And it's kind of almost like finding your own groove with that Two of Cups energy. Finding your own relationship, finding your own kind of a energy that works for you, and is completely unique to anything else. You know. The Prince of Swords, a man stood on the back of a big kestrel eagle type bird with arms upward. I'm not saying that very well. I'm actually going to start that again. The Prince of Swords, a man stood on the back of a kestrel slash eagle type bird with arms upright with a sword, hovering over choppy waters at night sky. Dark rays of light point down from the tip of the sword. Okay. Okay, so I don't know whether the prince is equivalent to the knight or the page. I'm going to take a guess that it's equivalent to the knight, and you have the princess for the page. Let me know if that's wrong. Um, Either way, it's swords court energy, and quite often, especially with the Knight of Swords, um, it has a bit of a smart arse energy for me. It's like the keyboard warrior. It's the person who will argue for the sake of argument. Um, it's almost like they're developing their their ability to argue. Their debating skills. They're developing their tool. They're developing their language. They're developing their ideas. And that with the swords, so that quite often comes across as just being argumentative. You know, sometimes it can come off quite cold. Sometimes it feels like that they're so stuck in their own head and trying to kind of work out, their own ideas. Everything's like in theory and everything goes so deep that sometimes it feels like that person is forgetting to step outside themselves and be compassionate and see things from someone else's point of view. So it might be that that is a pair of shoes that that maybe you are prone to stepping into, that you maybe need to leave behind. Or it might be that that is a particular person or a particular energy that needs to kind of a stay in 2023, that needs to not follow into 2024. But definitely that kind of a argumentative keyboard warrior type. Um, it feels like that's maybe what's being left behind. Vela, she's amazing, don't get me wrong, but she's a force to be reckoned with. I'm Taurus Moon and Rising, not really surprised the Hierophant made an appearance, says to Care Bear. Perhaps moving from divine feminine to divine masculine, Robin, says Marita. Yeah, you got together in March, right? Okay, okay. So that could well be what it means, but maybe you see it slightly differently. Care Bear says, I feel like I'm going to follow the beat of my own drum in relationships. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Uh, that was nice about the Hierophant and the Hermit. Yeah, that's quite often how I understand cards is by bouncing them off of other cards. Um, like that's my best way of accessing what that card is trying to tell me. And the Hierophant and the Hermit, that's something. Those are two that have always kind of come as a pair for me. Um, oh, good. I'm glad that it was helpful. And the Princess the Knight, yeah. So okay. So the what I was saying then, yeah, because if you've seen me read before, you'll know that Knight of Swords is my keyboard warrior. That is that's the main energy that I pick up on from the Knight of Swords. That's I suppose that's quite a negative energy though. Like, no core is all negative or all positive. Like they're very clever. They're very kind of a quick-witted, um, like very fast moving and like progressive. The Knight of Swords as well. Um, so those are, I suppose, some of the more positive aspects. Very intelligent. If I didn't already say that. Uh, Deanne says I almost just name dropped an old YouTuber. Right. Marita says his life has changed a lot and our initial patterns have disappeared. I mean that's to be expected. Um, just as the relationship develops. Okay, card three is talents that you will be expressing this year. Talents that you will be expressing this year. So I'm going to pull my cards, which for me is the King of Cups. And then I'm going to let that marinate whilst I put this in the chat. So, talents that you will be expressing this year. Okay, for me, King of Cups. The King of Cups' talent is being a really good listener, being really good at, I suppose it's like a kind of a negotiation skill that he's got. Um, he's really good at listening to, it's almost like a mediation type thing. He can listen to like two different points of view and somehow find a solution. He can be compassionate in what he's listening to. He can give both sides the time of day, and shows that they don't feel as though he's favouring one over the other, and he can find some sort of way forward, some sort of middle ground. Um, that to me is the king. That's how I perceive the King of Cups. Um, a really kind of a warm presence as well, I feel. So for me, that's maybe a talent that I'm going to express this year. It's kind of an advice role, which you know, I've no objections to that. I'm interested in how it's going to play out, how that's actually going to materialise this year. Um, so Janine commenting on her Prince of Swords card for the last position says very apt. I need to think before I speak, not in a bad way, but my words get manipulated. My son's texts are very keyboard warrior, right? Okay. Diplomacy with the King of Cups, yeah, diplomacy, that's the one. Deanne's got justice. So talent that you're going to express this year is justice. So what talents do we see as justice depicting? I suppose the ability to be impartial. That I mean, that's a talent, a rare talent in and of itself, isn't it? Kind of, in a similar vein to the King of Cups. Like I know justice is obviously a very different card, but when you put it in this kind of context, it is that kind of a finding the way forward. Like being absolutely impartial and absolutely fair, measuring everything up and finding the best way forward. Cause and effect. Robin says, "Oh dear, Ten of Swords, overthinking, over communicating." So a talent that you're going to express this year is the Ten of Swords. See, we maybe see this card a wee bit differently here, Robin, but I think the Ten of Swords is it's it's a beautiful card for that. The talent and the beauty of the Ten of Swords is the ability to take difficult experiences from your past, and these can be varying degrees of difficulty. But I mean, the Ten of Swords, depending on, I don't know what your Ten of Swords looks like, but quite often the depiction is, it's quite painful experiences from our past that it's talking about. But it's the ability to take those, move on from them, but taking the lessons that we've learned from those experiences, you know, and being able to move on and walk into that kind of a sunrise, that new day. That to me is the talent and the power of the Ten of Swords. So it's been able to move on from, difficult experiences, negative experiences, but still take some sort of learning, still take some sort of positive from the difficult stuff that you've been through. Um, so I actually think that's a really sweet card to have in that position. It's maybe quite sad to look back on what it might be depicting, or maybe it's difficult to look back on, the past stuff that it's talking about. But it's quite hopeful, I think, to as in looking forwards. Um, Janina's got the Seven of Cups. Okay, so to me, the talent there is seeing through the bullshit, isn't it? The Seven of Cups is like the oh, what's the phrase? It's when you're overwhelmed with choices. And it often talks about, a kind of an illusion as well, like, when you're not quite seeing things the way that they actually are. So the talent that to me that comes with that is actually being able to see through all of that and make the choice that's right for you. Um, Marita's got the Two of Swords, making choices. Common theme there, making choices. I was just thinking about my decision-making process earlier today. I like to research thoroughly, then throw caution to the wind. Not always, though. So, if we're looking at the two of, there's two choice cards, right? Two very different choice cards. So the Seven of Cups for me it's about being able to see through the bullshit, but because it's a Cups card, to me, there's an aspect where you need to know how you feel about the situation. You need to be in touch with your own emotions and your own feelings, because they are going to be pivotal to finding the right way forward. The Two of Swords, however, now I don't know what your Two of Swords looks like, but the Smith Waite Two of Swords has, it's obviously it's a swords card, so we know that it's about thinking, it's about mental. It's got the swords crossed. There's a body of water, but it's behind the person. So to me, I always see that as an ability to take the emotions out of the situation and make a decision purely based on, you know, actually look at it. So quite often, if there's a decision to be made and the Two of Swords comes up, my advice is, you know, take the emotion out of it, take the self-interest out of it, pros and cons lists, do it very kind of a logically, do it, mind maps, pros and cons lists, like write everything down, that kind of a thing. That's how you arrive at your decision with the Two of Swords. Care Bear has justice as well. Um, could apply to a couple of areas, says Diane. So you had justice also. Um, Card three talent, Seven of Cups. Yep, Covered that. Communicating with clarity, says Deanne, for justice. Justice, using good judgment for the higher good, balance and fairness, which goes well with the Two of Cups. Oh yeah, that's true. Ability to take on heavy loads, says Janine, for your Seven of Cups. A strong person. I like this Two of Swords card. She's not blindfolded and her swords are sheathed. Okay. Robin, I think the Ten of Swords. I think of Ten of Swords as defeat. Don't see that as a talent, but I like your reading. Okay, fair enough. I just for me, I always try and for me the tens are renewal of the cycle. Ten to me, I always have to kind of make it make sense with the numerology, and I know that's not for everyone, but 10 for me can't just be an ending. 9, I could reconcile that, but 10, there has to be some sort of renewal. Um, and that's why I see it as, in the Smith Weight, you've got the sun that's rising. The Light Seers is a beautiful depiction of the Ten of Swords, because we see someone who's walking on into the new sunrise, sorry. Uh, Zane in the Zany Tarot, and his initial Zany Tarot, he did a beautiful Ten of Swords where, so it was someone who was walking on, and I think it was actually like a puddle of blood, but they were walking on and they were wearing a red cape that's the same color as that kind of a puddle. I think I'm remembering this correctly. And to me, that signifies like you're moving on from that painful situation and you're turning that situation into your superpower, because of the red cape. Um, you're turning that painful experience, you're taking that and then using that for good, for your own greater good. Um, So yeah, I always try and see the Ten of Swords. I always try and see that kind of a change, that renewal aspect of it, as well as the painful side of it. Ten of Swords, the worst is over, and completing difficult cycles, you can move forward wiser and stronger, says Care Bear. Deanna's taking Max to karate, pulling the rest later. Great. I hope that Max has a great time at karate. Robbie's here. Hi, Robbie. Hope you all had a great week and have a great weekend. Thank you for popping in. Hope you're doing okay. Care Bear says, I'm pretty good at being objective and compromising. Good skills to have. Janine says, oh, the Prince of Swords could mean also the split from my ex last year. He met someone split from me, but messaging again. I wouldn't get back with them. Okay, so maybe that is the Prince of Swords that you're leaving behind in 2023. Okay. Card 4. Future opportunities. So opportunities that we're going to see in 2024. So I'm going to call it that actually. Opportunities. I've spelled that atrociously. Let's try that again. Opportunities in 2024. Now, remember, opportunities are seeds. They are, opportunities. It's not like a given. It's not just something that you're going to be given and that's the finished product. It's an opportunity for you to take something and turn it into something amazing. But to me, it's like an ace card. That those are the opportunity cards. It's like we need to work on it. And sometimes with opportunities, they're not always obvious. Sometimes we need to train our eye. We need to actually spot the opportunity, which to me is why these things are helpful. Because if I've pulled a card for my opportunity, then I'm going to be more on the lookout of it. If somebody told me at 9 o'clock this morning, you're going to find a £10 note when you take the dogs out today, then you can be sure that I'm going to be looking out for that £10 note. even if I don't really believe it, there's still part of me that's going to be like, oh, I wonder if I'll see that £10 note. So I'll be more aware of it and more on the lookout for it. Um, anyway, I got justice as my opportunity for 2024. So I'm going to say that, and because the scales in this justice card are slightly out of balance, I'm going to say there's an opportunity to write some sort of to rebalance the scales, to right some wrong, or to set something right that maybe isn't quite right just now. Um, yeah. What about you guys? Uh, okay, Robin has got the 6 of coins. Excuse me. Oh, I beg your pardon. So 6 of coins for opportunities. Um, 6 of coins. I'd need to see the card to know how I want to read it. To be honest with you, um, I know we often see it as generosity, um, harmony. Sixes for me are about harmony. It's see what I was saying there about righting a wrong, about correcting an imbalance. That for me is the six. It's like kind of a like it's the five is the instability. The six almost rebalances the scales. And given that it's coins, it's very tangible. Um, so yeah, I'm not actually sure what I think about that. You've said sharing. You've suggested sharing, Robin. Um, Marita's got the High Priestess as an opportunity. So maybe that's the opportunity is just to kind of develop that more, that deeper connection to yourself. Um, your intuition, all that kind of a thing. Care Bear, it's the Four of Swords, a relaxing vacation without my kids. And Janine, the Hermit, become a nun. So the Four of Swords and the Hermit are both quite similar cards in that position, aren't they? Because it's an opportunity to just rest and recuperate, I think. Um, I suppose the Hermit, both actually, yeah, they both kind of I feel like just put some distance between yourself and the outside noise. And yeah, just have that a bit of like just like a bit of an moment, where you just kind of chill out and quiet that noise in your head and um yeah, just create a bit of mental space for yourself, I think. Uh Care Bear, I have twin 19-month-old girls and a 7-year-old. That's the only way I can see this being rewarded for my hard work with rest and a time of peace. Oh, my tea's cold. Okay, I won't be drinking any more of that. So that was the opportunity for 2024. Card 5 is upcoming obstacles. So upcoming obstacles. Um, okay, I've got the Ace of Swords. It's interesting as an obstacle card. Let me shift these up actually. Um, I always when I'm typing, my hands will always want to put an N in obstacles and type it obstacles. I don't know what it is. There probably is a similar word that when I'm typing those letters or when I'm typing that pattern, I'm used to hitting that N or you know. But yeah, every time I type that word, I've always got to take out the N. So upcoming obstacles for me, the Ace of Swords. Usually the Ace of Swords is the thing that cuts through obstacles, isn't it? It's the thing that removes that kind of a new idea, it's that new frame of mind, that new mindset that just gives you that mental clarity and lets you move through obstacles. Um, that lets you solve those problems that have been getting in your way. But I've got the Ace of Swords as an obstacle. Um, so that could could mean that I'm the problem. That someone else is moving out the way with our Ace of Swords. Oh gosh, I would hope not. It could be it could just generally be the sword suit, so it could be that kind of a mental overthinking type thing. The idea of the mental suit is the obstacle. It's you're thinking too much about things, you're overthinking things. You're almost giving yourself that analysis paralysis. I think that was the phrase I was looking for earlier on. Um, so yeah, maybe that's more what this is talking about. Um, it's just been too much up in my head, and you know, just questioning myself a bit too much, maybe. Um, the Six of Swords, moving away from the past. Okay, so the Six of Swords is your upcoming obstacle. So, I mean, we see the Six of Swords as the card that's moving from one place to the other, but I mean, there is a massive obstacle that's depicted in the Six of Swords normally. I don't know what yours looks like, Robin, but and that's the sea. It's the massive kind of a transition period. The sea is a massive obstacle that we see them negotiating. Um, so remember, these obstacles, these aren't things like, oh, you're just going to have to put up with that. That's just going to stop you, and that's the end of it. Our job is to negotiate these obstacles. So, you know, maybe it's more to do with that sea. And obviously we associate the sea is and the water suit with the emotions, and it's quite a choppy sea in most Six of Swords, I'm going to say. So those kind of that emotional turmoil might be the obstacle, maybe. Marita says Five of Pentacles as usual, so financial obstacles. Ace of Wands for Janine is the obstacle. Okay. Okay, a couple of different things come to mind with the Ace of Wands as the obstacle. Uh, Job-wise, Janine, um, are you looking for a new job? Have you recently got a new job? I feel as though we've maybe talked about career before, but I could be getting mixed up. Um, so the Ace of Wands could be to do with a new career, or maybe it's this idea of a new career, the desire for a new career. That sometimes when we overly fixate on what we want, we forget that we need to do the work to manifest the thing. So sometimes being overly kind of a conscious of your desires, it can be an obstacle. So if that's something that springs to mind, the other thing, um, I suppose this could be said of the Ace of Swords as well. The Ace of Wands is a very phallic image. Um, so yeah, I don't want to elaborate too much on that. But those are just some thoughts that I have when I think of those cards. Um, Care Bear, Page of Cups. There is preteen on the card making a mess with paint. On a mundane level, my kids keep making messes with their joyful creations. Perhaps on a serious level, Kids are an obstacle, or I'm being too idealistic. Um, oh, hi, Ramon. Yeah, Ramon. I doubted myself there. Um, hey, how you doing? It's lovely to see you. Uh, in my partnerships, because of Two of Cups theme, I'm starting to see how it all ties in with my other cards. Ah, right, okay. Page of Cups as an obstacle card, it could be like, um, so Page of Cups can symbolize immaturity, I think, sometimes, especially when it comes to the emotional realm. They can be very like, it's not immature, it's just like um, they've not developed a thick skin, so they can be quite easily upset by things. Um, and when we're talking about the idea of building up a new relationship, when we talk about that Two of Cups energy, the Page of Sword, sorry, the Page of Cups as an obstacle could just be like you've said, maybe being too idealistic, or maybe you're just, I think of the Page of Cups as like, yeah, that they they think the world of, the things that they become connected to. It's like their friend is like their best friend in the whole wide world, and if they ever do something to let them down, then it breaks their heart. That to me is the Page of Cups. Um, so I suppose it could be that. Um, let's see. Janine says, changed roles in my government job of 30 years, but change is not great and I want to change jobs totally. Right, okay. Okay, so maybe kind of like what I was saying then, maybe it is that fire suit, is that kind of more career area that is an obstacle for you. Thankfully, the next card, card six, is how to deal with these upcoming obstacles. So, mine says the devil. Right, hang on. So, six, how to deal with upcoming obstacle. Oh, I did it again. I did the end. Obstacles, even though I was thinking in my head as I was typing it, don't type the end. How to deal with upcoming obstacles. Right, the devil. What do we think of this as to how to deal with my overthinking problem? Um, I suppose it could just be more present, not everything has to be so, not everything has to have meaning. Some things can just be because they are. Some things it's about the experience in it. It's not about overthinking it and thinking about, right, sussing out what it means and why and all these things. With some things, we just need to, you know, we are mental beings, we're emotional beings, we are spiritual beings, but we are also physical beings. And I know that I'm prone to um, having my head in the clouds a wee bit too much. So maybe this is just, it's my way of, or the card's way of telling me that I need to kind of remember to just be a physical being sometimes. Um, Ramon, you've said information. Information. What was I talking about when you said that? I think I was talking about, I was going on about the Page of Cups, wasn't I? Oh dear. Hmm. Um, right, Janine, you've got the Princess of Cups, which is the page. Oh, we've just been talking about the Page of Cups. Um, so what was your obstacle again? The Ace of Wands. It's funny, isn't it? You've got a fire card as your obstacle, and your solution is a water card. Um, yeah, because they're both like new beginning cards, so they're both something new is happening. Um, but the Ace of Wands is like a new kind of a passion, a new inspiration, whereas the Page of Cups, um, it's kind of it's almost more wishy-washy, isn't it? It's more it's like a new emotional connection. So I don't know if what it's saying to you is, listen more to your kind of how you feel, listen more to your emotions. Um, I don't know. I don't really know what I think about that, to be honest with you. A mermaid is sat on a rock under a massive curved wave, sheltered by a shell with a goblet in her hand. Hmm. Care Bear says, be more selfish with the devil. And Robin has the Queen of Wands, compassionately but with drive. Um, so, and your obstacle, Robin, was the Six of Swords. So you've got oh no, you've not. Actually, the Six of Swords is really an air card, but to me, the obstacle there was the water, it was the emotion. Um, and you're getting fire as your solution. So you need to evaporate that sea. um, yeah, Queen of Wands, like confidence. Have confidence in yourself and your own abilities. Be unapologetically yourself. You do have an audience, and there are those that that want to listen to you. So just have that. Have know that. I suppose. Um, so yeah, that was really cool. The seventh card is how to achieve your goals and dreams, which I quite like those six because they let us address specific things, and then I suppose the seventh card just feels more. Well, I suppose some of them are general. Well, let's just pull it. Let's pull how to achieve your goals and your dreams. Where are we? How to achieve your goals and dreams. Oak Care Bear says my solution card is the Queen of Swords. I'm in Gemini, even though I don't even though I know that card is technically a Libra. So be more logical and rational, take no bullshit and cut their heads off. Um, if I don't like something. What was your obstacle card? Your Page of Cups, right. Ah, okay. So the Page of Cups is the obstacle and your solution is your Queen of Swords. So definitely like it's like, you know, be, being too overly emotional about the situation seems to be the obstacle, and the solution is to, you know, remember to be logical about things and remember to kind of keep your head on almost. And yeah, if the Page of Cups is the solution and the Queen of Swords is if the Page of Cups is a problem and the Queen of Swords is the solution, then that feels like, it almost feels like your cards are telling you to like grow up about the situation. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh grow up, like, you know, almost like a path to maturity type thing. It's that kind of thing that I'm getting. I'm not saying that about you generally. Please understand. I just mean, that feels like that's the message of those two cards. Um, yeah. Uh, Setting boundaries to idealism with the Page of Cups. Yeah. I've not pulled my seventh card. Oh, mine's is the King of Wands. So how to achieve my goals and dreams. King of Wands has a particular meaning for me. So this is it's about taking on two roles. So the King of Wands, he's a king. Kings have to oversee the rulers. They oversee things. They're managers. They have a responsibility. It's up to them to maintain the stability of their kingdom. But because he's the King of Wands, because the wands are the sort of fire, which is very kind of a passionate, it's fast moving, it doesn't like to be chained down. That actually makes this King of Wands very kind of a um very dual purpose. He's he's good at being a king, he can oversee, he can maintain that stability, but also he likes to get his hands dirty as well. He likes to kind of you know, keep his hand in at things and he likes to do the thing. Um he doesn't like to be sitting on his throne all day. Um, Sometimes it can be difficult for him, so it can, because sometimes his responsibilities, he has that overall responsibility for the kingdom, so he needs to remember that he can't just kind of like, I was going to say play with his wand all day. That doesn't sound quite right, does it? Um, but he can't get carried away. He does need to remember his responsibilities. Um, but at the same time, he's skilled and he's a king. He's skilled. He's built up that you know that knowledge, that passion. He's good at what he does. Um, so I suppose that how do I achieve my goals and dreams? That it's about remembering to see things from different angles, to not be too linear about things. Maybe. Janine, Marita, you've got the Eight of Swords for dealing with your Five of Pentacles. Right, okay. The Eight of Swords for dealing with the Five of Pentacles. So the Eight of Swords is your solution to your Five of Pentacles. So for me, the Five of Pentacles was quite a straightforward, like it's a question of resource. It's having the resources to do the things that you want to do. The Eight of Swords has a solution. So quite often we see the Eight of Swords cards and we talk about how the solution is actually there. So the issue with the Eight of Swords is the person is chained up. The solution is the eight swords, the eight sharp objects that they can use to unchain themselves or to unbound themselves. Um, so whatever the solution is, it's kind of almost right in front of you, to a point where you might actually have convinced yourself that the solution is the problem. Um, so yeah, that's interesting. Janine, and I think this is coming on to the seven, the Prince of Cups reversed is how to achieve your goals and dreams. You need to slut it up for 2024, Janine. You need to get yourself out there. You need to be a hoe for 2024. That is the Knight of or the Prince of Cups reversed. 2024 is your year. Go do whatever you want to do. Be unapologetic about it. I'm sorry, but yeah, the Knight of Cups for me is the kind of a it's the Mr. Lover Lover card. It's the kind of a the fuckboy card. Do you know what I mean? So that's why when I'm seeing that energy being reversed, it's like the balls to the wall, like go for it type thing. Um, So hopefully that's not offensive, me saying that. I do say that with a bit of like humour in me. I'm being a bit joking about it, but you know, take that to whatever extreme you take it. But that's kind of the general gist of what I see there. Um, uh, no, I'm reading it that way. I can get swept away with my imagination and emotions. Slow down, be more rational and realistic. No offense taken. Taro tells the truth. It's hard to hear for us to grow. Yeah. Um, so Robin has got the Five of Swords to achieve your goals and dreams. It's the Five of Swords, right? Okay. Yeah, that is quite tough because what it seems to be suggesting is that in order to, in order to meet your goals, it's almost like there's there's competition and it's unavoidable that someone has to lose. Um, and it can feel quite cruel, it can feel quite mean, but it's a big bad world out there. It's a competitive world out there, and you know, not everyone can do everything that they want to do. So maybe in order to meet your goals, you need to accept that what that means is that maybe someone else isn't going to achieve theirs. And this is the thing. We're talking about 2024. This isn't like, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world for those people that lose. It just means that they move on to something different. We all have those disappointments in our lives. We all have those points where we don't achieve the thing that we wanted to achieve. You know, we don't get the job that we interviewed for, or I don't know, we put something out there and it doesn't turn out to be as successful as we wanted it to be. Um, we all have those moments in our lives to sometimes to big degrees, sometimes just kind of small things, but um, it's just part of growing and it's part of being an adult is learning how to kind of pick yourself back up and to move on from it. Kind of like what we were saying about the 10, like it's your job at that point is to take the learnings from what you've learned and move on from it. Move forward in a way that's good for you. So to take your Five of Swords for me, that's like, you know, that there needs to be an acceptance that maybe not everyone's going to be happy at the end of it, you know. Um, for Marita, it's the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Six of Wands. Have you got two cards for it? Um, so the Queen of Pentacles is into how to achieve your dreams and your goals. Create the space. For me, the Queen is about creating an environment where we can grow. Uh, whether it's, the Queen of Wands maybe creates an environment where we can build our passions and progress through things like our career and just things that give our lives meaning. The Queen of Cups creates an emotional safe space where we can develop and mature and stuff like that. The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords is an intellectual environment where we can learn new things, and the Queen of Pentacles is a physical, it's a place where we feel physically safe. You know, um, to me, that's what the Pentacles is all about. The whole point and the things that we associate with Pentacles: money, health. food, shelter, all of these physical things, the physical things in our life, the material things, they are at the end of the day, they're all shows that we feel secure in our physical selves, you know. Um, so the queen is the person that creates as the queen either to me signifies someone who creates that safe space or they are it is that safe space. The queen can be a person who's creating an environment, or the queen can be the environment itself. Um, so how do you achieve your goals and your dreams? It's that safe space. It's creating an environment where you can do the things that you want to do. Think about the environment that you're doing the thing in. Um, Care Bear has the Ace of Pentacles as the last card. Take opportunity to ground and build abundance from resources. I've been getting this card in future positions of the Celtic Cross for the last 6 months. Something is coming up. I need to be practical and run with a real opportunity to build abundance. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The Ace of Pentacles is, I said this earlier on about something else, but it's a seed. I said that about opportunities, didn't I? The aces are seeds. So the Ace of Pentacles, it's not like to me that's not you're winning the lottery and you're never going to have to work another day in your life. The Ace of Pentacles is maybe a small income of money, but you know, you have the choice of whether you invest it and make something of it, or do you just kind of spend it and it's gone. There's an opportunity there, um, but in order to make something of it long term, then you need to work at that. You need to put in the work. It's a seed that needs tended to. It's not the final plant or the final flower. Um, Janine, I'm not a fake girl though. Um, Maybe don't worry about what others think. I need to go for what I want and speak my mind. Not worry what everyone else thinks for a change. Yeah, maybe. Um, you have to push yourself forward, says Marita. Interesting because Jupiter coincide in transit with my Taurus and Gemini placements. I see you lose me with the astrology. I kind of a struggle a wee bit with the more complicated aspects of astrology. I know Jupiter is kind of a positive force, it's an expansive force. Um, I don't know what happens when it's in transit with something. Um, See, Jupiter and Gemini, I'm sure, is that not quite a difficult energy? Is that not like the Ten of Swords or something, is it not? I'm not sure. Anyway, um, Robin says, thanks, this has been fun and thought-provoking. Marita says, new home. Oh, for the Queen of Pentacles, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um, okay. You're very welcome, Robin. Thank you for being here. Oh, look, Simon's still here. I thought you were snoring away. Um, thought you were away to sleep, Simon. But no, it was lovely to see everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Um, yeah, I'm not really sure what's coming up. I'll try and go live again next week. We'll see what happens. Um, but uh, you were. Oh gosh, something's woke you up. Maybe me. My dulcet tones. Um, could Robin be entered in a contest? Oh yeah, well, there's someone has to win and someone has to lose. Um, right. Okay, guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much. Take care. Have a great weekend. And I shall hopefully see you all next week. Bye, everyone.